Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another night of Oredigger Basketball here at Kelvin Sampson Court. As the ball is tipped out of bounds as we get set for this one here at the Hyper Complex. Sean Ryan sitting along with you as we get set. It is Montana Tech and Dickinson State tonight. A couple of games, the same two teams playing, both on the men's and women's side, as the Orediggers will turn over Dickinson State early to start, but they'll get the ball back. They'll drive it inside, put up a tough contested shot, and it'll rattle home. That's Jennifer Burnham scoring the first, the 5'6" sophomore out of West Valley City, Utah. Oredigger's going to go a little high-low action. They feed it into Potter, and she's trying to skip it out to Landeck. She is fouled. Dickinson State coming into this one lost 78-47 to Montana Western yesterday in the early afternoon. Montana Western, one of the favorites in the Frontier Conference this season, returning a lot of talent, but all eyes are going to be on LC State. Wouldn't be too surprised, though, if Western didn't pull an upset or two. These Orediggers, young, with pretty good experience as they bring in both Coverdell's and Landeck and Potter, who got quite a bit of experience last year. But it is Landeck who opens up the scoring for Montana Tech, hitting the first tray ball, as the Orediggers are officially 1 of 1, and they lead 3-2. Montana Tech got the win last night in their first game of this Payne West Montana Tech tip-off tournament here at Kelvin Sampson Court. They beat Nuetta Hidatsa 101-63. Little high-low move, and Shea Potter gets beat off the bounce. That's a good aggressive take by Lacey Wade. Wade out of Havre, Montana, playing in her home state. Potter can't get the first. She puts the second one up, and the rebound and retry do not go. It is 4-3, Dickinson State leading. 8:33 left to go here in this first quarter. Long three up, missed, and rebound comes down to Kaylin Coverdell. Coverdell getting the start for Montana Tech along with her twin sister Courtney. Courtney has it on the left-hand side. Back out to Hannah Sparks. Sparks, she'll drive in the lane, put up the righty floater, and that one is good. And Sparks has proven to be a dynamic player for Montana Tech in just a couple of games this year. Looking at the recap from yesterday, Sparks was 4 of 5 from the floor, 3 of 3 at the free throw line, also had 5 assists and a steal to her credit in 20 minutes of action, totaling 11 points. She really fill it up and plays that guard position really well. Efficient, and when you've got this many shooters on the floor, as Montana Tech does, that's a good sign. The Orediggers will run their offense. Sparks on cue, kicks it out to Landeck. She's not able to hit, and Dickinson State will look to run and gun. Across the timeline comes Jennifer Burnham. The 5'6" sophomore will give it off to Tasevich. Tasevich cuts through. Now Dickinson's going to try a long three. That one's off the mark. Rebound comes down to Landeck. It's scooped away, and we've got a whistle and a foul called against Montana Tech. It's going to be Dickinson State as they come up with that 50-50 ball and put a early foul on Montana Tech. 7:17 left to go here in the first. It is 5-4, Montana Tech leading. Over on the right-hand side, it's Wade. She feeds it into Tasevich. Tasevich puts a shot up. It'll rattle off the iron. And the rebound comes down to Coverdell. Coverdell. Over to Landeck. Landeck, she'll try a tough 17-footer. That one's off the mark. And the rebound comes down to Dickinson State. Not great patience on that offensive set. You can get that shot, I would say, almost every time down the floor. It's a weird intermediate range that you don't practice from. People feel really comfortable shooting from a couple different spots. It's a 15-foot line. It's right next to the basket, and then it's right behind the three-point line. As Coverdell will drive in, and an offensive foul called against Courtney Coverdell. And that was a slow-motion offensive foul as she hit the deck. Taking that offensive foul was Karen Hopkins. Kaylee Zard checking in for the Orediggers. That is the second team foul, but we have seen here Nearly a turnover, a little run and jump defense by the Orediggers. Tasevich. Over on the right-hand side for Dickinson State. Tasevich, ball's deflected, knocked away by Sparks. Then they turn her over. It's Coverdale with the steal, passes it ahead, and they're going to say that it's heading the other way. Not so sure about that one. Down the left-hand side, that's Hopkins. She drives in, finds an open teammate underneath the bucket. That's Riley Helmick. Helmick, a 5'6" junior out of Ontario, Oregon. Zard on the inside, puts it up strong, but a little too strong. She was fouled in the process, though, so she'll go to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Free throw is up and good for Zard. Zard is a true sophomore, standing 6 feet tall from Forsyth, Montana. That one is good. So 2 of 2, and Sammy McGree will check in. Landeck checks out, and Coach Sannon talks to her as she comes to the sideline. 7-6, Montana Tech leading by 1. 5:47 left to go here in the first. Tough shot by Dickinson State. That one's going to rattle off the mark. Zard grabs the rebound, and she outlets to Sparks. Sparks very quick with the dribble. Long pass over. Back out to McGree. McGree, she drives in. Great seal for Zard, but she can't get the layup. Rebound comes down to Kaylin Coverdale. She'll kick it out to Courtney. Courtney can't fire from 3, and the rebound is collected by Dickinson State. Boy, good offense there and good tenacity. Get after the boards, but you got to hit a shot if you're open. In across the lane, 3 ball up, off the mark, rebound down to Sparks. Sparks in the lane, across the lane, good give and go and pass, and Zard is 0 for 3 on layups, and Potter's going to check in at the next dead ball. That's 6 points right there that Montana Tech has left on the board because of missed layups early. Good drive in. They force the tough corner 3 as Sparks had jumped off of her defender. And there's a turnover for Montana Tech as Coverdale wasn't looking. And that will bring us to immediate timeout. Early in this one, it's 9-7. Dickinson State leading by 2. As we come back from the immediate timeout, it's Dickinson State 9, Montana Tech 7. Bailey Armbruster and Shea Potter checked in, along with Haley Crawford. Crawford gets the steal, throws it ahead to Potter. Potter loses it, gives it back out to McGree. McGree to Kaylin Coverdale. That 3 balls off the mark. Offensive rebound is going to draw a foul on Montana Tech, as Coverdale went after the loose ball and picked one up. And that one is good for Dickinson State, and now they lead 11-7. Three ball, my Sammy McGree will answer, though, for Montana Tech. They pull back within 1, 11-10, 3:43 left to go here in the first. Montana Tech in the first 6 minutes of action shot just 20% from the floor. Dickinson State shooting 45% from the floor. That second 3 for Dickinson State in this one, as McGree gets the ball kind of ripped away, and then Potter hits the deck, working against Dickinson State's post player. Looks like she and Karen Hopkins got kind of tangled up. Dickinson State is a team with not as much size as you're used to seeing. Only 3 players standing taller than 5'10". Whereas Montana Tech has some size on the inside. Players that are able to step out a little bit and play in the perimeter, as Armbruster gets called for the travel. (13-10) is your score. Down across the right-hand side, we got a double dribble is called against Natalie Hafer. Hafer, a 5'7" freshman out of Rapid City, South Dakota, being pressured well by Crawford. Also into the ball game for Montana Tech is Mesa Williams. Armbruster picks it up. Williams across the lane, scoops and scores. The good little cut there by Williams is rewarded. And Montana Tech trails by 1, 13-12. With 2:40 left to go here in this first quarter. Dangerous pass there by Dickinson State. Back into the hands of Helmick. Helmick, they allow a drive baseline. They drop it off to Potter. Williams with a good help defense there, as Potter had to go down baseline and stop the drive. Able to get a Dickinson State stop. Armbruster to Williams. Back out to Armbruster. She'll do a little dribble drive. Crawford collects the pass. Distributes it to Williams. Back over to Armbruster. Armbruster feeds it into McGree. McGree, she'll try a little runner. It's off the mark. Armbruster, she'll force it up in the traffic, and that one doesn't draw iron, and Dickinson State will have the basketball. And Dickinson State will turn it over right in front of the Montana Tech bench as they throw it out of bounds here at the Payne West Montana Tech tip-off tournament. I'd like to thank you to Payne West for sponsoring this tip-off tournament. Armbruster with a little dribble drive, gives it off to Potter. Potter on the inside, and they will call a travel. Could have been a travel, could have been a tie-up. Diggers would have preferred the tie-up because the ball would have been back into their possession. Little give and go, high side. Shot is missed by Chelsea Borden. Excuse me, that was Riley Helmick. And the Diggers don't get anything on offense on that end. Dickinson State leading 13-12 with 1:14 left to go here in this first quarter. Over on the right-hand side, they will collect it. They'll hold it on the Town Pump logo. Back over to Helmick. Helmick, she'll try a contested three. Hand in her face, she can't collect. And they'll throw it ahead to Crawford as the Diggers take it back on offense. Less than a minute left to go here in this first as Potter gets called for the offensive foul as she displaced the defender, Teresa Phipps. Phipps, a 5'9" freshman out of Jordan, Montana. Boy, and now that I see that name, I think I might have called a state tournament game of hers. couple of years back. Armbruster playing on-ball defense against Natalie Hafer. They give it back over to Phipps. Phipps, she's not afraid to drive. She'll take it into the lane. Can't get it to go. Rebound comes down for the Diggers. Armbruster, there's 4-second difference between shot clock and game clock. They throw it over to Crawford. Crawford, long skip pass to the wide open McGree, and she hits. And Montana Tech has their second lead of the ball game, leading 15-13 with 16 seconds left to go here in this first quarter. Kick it out. Long three ball attempted by Dickinson State. Crawford forces the travel. I think she was trying to foul and she missed. Interesting development. So 2.1 seconds left. Crawford will be able to get a half-court heave in if she wants, and she does. And that just hurts your shooting percentage. The Diggers lead by 2. Here at the end of 1, it's 15-13. Montana Tech over Dickinson State. Back in half a moment. Fresh 10 on the clock as we start quarter number 2 here at Kelvin Sampson Court. Sean Ryan sitting along with you as the Ourdiggers have a 2-point lead thanks to a big 3 ball there by Sammy McGree. She's hit a couple of them to start this contest. They feed it into Kaylee Zard. Zard, skip pass out to Crawford. That 3's off the mark. Rebound tipped around, and McGree's going to keep it alive. Shot clock has reset. Armbruster tries to go up strong, and the ball is stripped away from her. We got a whistle and a foul. And heading to the free throw line is Bailey Armbruster. Armbruster was 3 of 5 from the floor in Montana Tech's win over Nueta Hidatsa. Armbruster played 14 minutes, scored 6 points, had 2 assists, and grabbed a board. Armbruster goes 1 of 2, and the Digger lead is out to 3, 16-13. Dickinson State playing a little rumble offense, and they get bailed out by a foul call. That one whistled against Kaylee Zard. You know, this lead for Montana Tech could be a little bit larger. Diggers made a couple early layups in that first quarter. Dickinson State on the inbound. They get the ball in. Kick it out right-hand side. Driving in is Phipps. Phipps with the right hand. The freshman out of Jordan, Montana scores it. And with 9:10 left to go here in the second, it's a 1-point ball game. Zard, good post move up and under with the left, and it scored. That showed a lot of patience there by Kaylee Zard. She collected it, gave a good pump fake middle, saw there was no option there. Then used that right leg to drive through, keeping that left foot as a pivot, and find the glass. 8:43 left to go here in the second. Ball is picked up in a precarious spot for Dickinson State as the shot clock goes down to 9. Driving down right-hand wing. 3 is up and off the mark. Williams clears the board in traffic, and Crawford has it on the offensive end. She skips it out. McGree, just can't quite get that one to go as it knocks off the front of the iron. And the Diggers lead 18-15 with 8:17 left to go here in the second. Over on the left-hand side, they will control it as Dickinson State will try a tough 15-footer, and that one is off the mark as well. Montana Tech in that first quarter shot 29% from the floor. And the Orediggers are adding to their credit right now. Montana Tech, thanks to a big 3-ball, leads 21-15. Be back in just a moment. Back from the timeout, Montana Tech leads 21-15 with 7:51 left to go here in the second quarter. The Orediggers have a 6-point advantage. That is their largest of the contest. Sammy McGree has 6 points to lead the Orediggers as Dickinson State throws a little Hail Mary pass, and they're able to get it into the end zone with a left hand and a good finish by Lacey Wade. She and McGree both gave a little battle there for that kind of Hail Mary pass. Dangerous pass there thrown by Kaylin Coverdell, and Sparks is fouled. And that is a dangerous play for Coverdell to throw that pass. On the floor for the Orediggers, it's Crawford. It's Coverdell, McGree, Zard, and Sparks. Sparks looking to drive baseline. She does. Throws a dangerous pass out to McGree. Back out. Courtney Coverdell. That one's off the mark, and the rebound. Grabbed by Dickinson State. Just under 7 minutes left to play here in this second quarter. It's 21-17. Dickinson State working hard against the Tech pressure, and the Diggers are playing almost too high of a high side defense, giving up that baseline. It's fine to give up the baseline if you got help there, but Dickinson State is pulling up their low posts into the high post, and it's hard for those post players to get back down to get in line between the driver and the basket. Hopkins, 1 of 1 at the free throw line. She's got another one coming. Dickinson State pretty confident in Hopkins' ability if they don't have any rebounders in. Having an informal timeout on the sideline, with coaches Lewis and Rayback. Coverdell to Coverdell over on the right-hand wing. Pass over to Sparks. Sparks, she'll try the three. That one's off the mark. Not known as a necessary shooter. She's more of a driver. But if you're open, sometimes you got to keep them honest. Shot clock down to 20. As Hopkins has it, picks up her dribble. Ball is dead. Swing it over to Wade. Wade, ball's taken away by Landeck. Landeck got it on the right-hand side. Over to Sparks. Sparks, the up and under. It won't rattle home. Rebound comes down to Potter, and she'll clean the glass. And Montana Tech is going to pick up the pressure. Sparks, good on-ball defense, playing the deny. They finally get it in the corner. And that's Burnham. Burnham working against Sparks. Boy, she's really pressuring her. Wanted to get rid of that ball as soon as she got rid of it. As soon as she got past half court. On the inside, we got a whistle and a foul. And I'm not so sure that was a foul. They're going to call that one on Kaylin Coverdell. I thought if there was any foul, it would be Sparks. It would have been the wrong call. 23-19 your score. 5:41 left to go here in the second. As that one is up. And it is good for Natalie Hafer. Dickinson State has cut it back to a 2-point ball game, 23-21. As Landeck will try the tough two. Rebound comes down awkwardly, and Potter can't control it as she hit the deck. It's one of those rebounds you really don't plan on ever getting because she was boxed out well, but kind of a weird, awkward, long rebound. And the Diggers are picking up man-to-man full court once again. They're pressuring Tasevich. Over on the right-hand side, they throw it over to Wade. Wade into Hopkins. Hopkins, she'll dribble drive in. Little inside-out basketball, and Landeck grabs a rebound. That's one thing about this Montana Tech team is that they all seem to rebound it well. Courtney Coverdell with three. 26-21. 5 minutes left to go here in this second quarter as the Diggers lead by 5. Montana Tech shooting just about 35% from the floor in this one. Has not been a spectacular shooting night for the Lady Orediggers. Driving across the lane, getting the bucket on the little swirl route. A good finish on the inside, and that was Lacey Wade. 4:30 left to go here in this second quarter as Montana Tech feeds it over to Courtney Coverdell, and she's able to score it again. The Orediggers expand it back out to 6. This is a good game for Montana Tech as we've got a whistle and a foul. That's going to be the 4th team foul on the Orediggers. Montana Tech had a decent contest with Nuetta Hidatsa, but you can only learn so much from a game that you win by 38 to 40 points. Diggers did get the win, 101-63. Played a lot of bodies, had a lot of players see the floor, but your execution isn't great, and there's never really a crunch time because the game is competitive for about 2.5 minutes. And this is a much better game for Montana Tech to be in at this point because it is a 6-point ball game, and it has been a single possession ball game. The Orediggers are 2-0 on this season with home wins over Yellowstone Christian and Nuetta Hidatsa. I think they were technically 3-0 as Horn battled for that rebound. Technically 3-0 because Northwest Indian College forfeited a game last Thursday because they were not able to field enough players. Dickinson State running a little pass and cut option here. Trying to screen away. Now they'll come on and set a high ball and on-ball pick. Tasevich, she'll drive in, and the Diggers get called for a foul. That is going to be the second on Coverdell. And you wonder how long Coach Carly Sannon will be allowed to keep her into the contest. 29-23. Free throw is up, and it is good. Made by Madison Hansen. Went to Broadus. A lot of Montana players on this roster. A lot of Class B, Class C players on this roster. Players from Jordan, Baker, Broadus, Havre being Class A. Tough shot fired by the Diggers. That one's off the mark. And Montana Tech having to drop back on the defensive end. Leading by 4. 2:55 left to go here in the second. Sparks looks like she might have caught an elbow to the ear on that last possession. Tough shot. Good defense played by Landeck. It's one thing Montana Tech is doing really well is rebounding, limiting Dickinson State to one-shot opportunities on the offensive end. Left-hand side, Coverdale. Ooh, that one will rattle off the mark. Rebound comes down offensively for Mesa Williams, and the Diggers will reset the offense. Landeck, tough 16-footer, and she's able to knock it home. 31-25 your score. The Orediggers leading by 6. With 2:13 left to go here in the second. Tough shot off the glass. That one's made by that is number 20, Jennifer Burnham. Four-point ball game, 31-27. Landeck picks up her dribble. They feed it in. And back out. Sparks, she'll try a little jumper, and she connects from 16 feet on the opposite wing. Sparks playing really well for Montana Tech early on in this one. Coverdale with the block, the steal. It's a 1-on-2. She'll slow it down, feeds it over to Landeck, and she'll put it home. Great patience there by Coverdale as she slowed it down on the offensive end. Allowed her teammate to get wide open. She knew she had 2 or 3 players guarding her. Sparks with her hand in the pass. And you've got 1:08 left to go here in the second. 35-27. Ball is tipped, batted around. Tough shot put up by Dickinson State. It's kicked back around. Long 3 shot off the mark. Rebound collected by the Orediggers, and that's Akers with it. Sparks off the glass, a nifty dribble with the left hand, and she adds to her tally on the day. Sparks has got 6 points by my count. And the Diggers lead by 10 now, their first 10-point lead of this contest. 37-27. And there is a 10-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Shot clock down to 13. Sparks in the passing lane. Now it's in the hands of Coverdale. Coverdale, they've got 4 on 3. Coverdale, she'll try a 15-footer. That one's off the mark. Rebound comes down to Williams with great offensive rebounding position. And she puts it up and in for the Diggers, who now lead by 12. Game clock down to 7. Shot clock has been turned off. Dickinson State driving down across the lane. Coverdale with another steal. She'll have it, and she's going to dribble it out because the Diggers have a 12-point lead. They go on a little run there to end the second quarter, and they lead 39-27 over Dickinson State at the end of 20 minutes. We got second half coming your way in about 15 minutes, as we'll bring you back up here to Kelvin Sampson Court and the rest of the broadcast after we take a short break. Welcome back here to Kelvin Sampson Court. Sean Ryan sitting along with you as we get set for quarter number 3. And the Orediggers have a 39-27 advantage over Dickinson State. Montana Tech shot 40% in that first half. Dickinson State will drive in, fire a contested layup up, and rebound came down to Williams, but she had it ripped away from her. And the Blue Hawks strike first. 9:37 left to go here in the third. Williams, the 15-footer. She catches, takes one dribble, and puts it up. Able to get the score. And the Diggers lead by 12 once again. Montana Tech defensively gets the steal. That's Courtney Coverdell. She's got Landeck, finds her, then the lefty layup is blown. 8:59 left to go here in the third. 41-29 is your score. The Diggers have turned over Dickinson State 11 times. Dickinson State dribble drives in, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called against Williams. The ball will be administered baseline for the Blue Hawks. Across the lane, the scoop shot no good. Rebound to Sparks. She's got some open territory in front of her. She drives in across the lane. That one's short, and the rebound comes back down to Dickinson State. They've got the 2-on-1 advantage, but the pass cannot be controlled, and it'll be Montana Tech basketball. (41-29) is your score. Montana Tech still leading by 12. That was the advantage they took into the locker room. Sparks drives down baseline. Shot clock at 14. They try to feed it inside to Williams. She was going one way. The pass was headed the other. And it's another turnover for Montana Tech. A steal for the Blue Hawks. And a tough three able to be knocked down by Isadora Tasovic. Tasovic with a tough fall-away jumper from that far left corner. Montana Tech has the advantage size-wise down in the post as Landak will hit the three on the good assist from Williams. Montana Tech has the size advantage offensively in the post. I'd like to see them get the ball inside the paint a little bit more often, get more points in the paint. In that first half, Montana Tech had 19 points in the paint, 19 of their 39. Tough three shot, rebound comes down into the hands of Coverdell, and she dribbled it off of the back of Sparks' leg, and it goes out of bounds. Something the Diggers have struggled with is turning the ball over. They've got 8 in the game so far and 2 in this second half. Haley Crawford checks in. Mesa Williams checks out. Monica Landak checks out. And Samuel McGree will check in. Haley Crawford also checked in for Montana Tech. Ball over on the left-hand side, running a little Butler action is Dickinson State. They drive it down across the lane, left hand, it's off the mark. Rebound to McGree. She'll have it as she crosses the timeline. Over on the left-hand side, throws to Kaylin Coverdell. Coverdell. And they feed it inside to Potter. Potter, kick out to Coverdell. Coverdell, she'll drive in, lefty layup, it's up and good. Defense miscommunicated there for Dickinson State. And the Diggers have built their advantage out to 14. It is 46-32 with 6:35 left to go here in the third. We got a blocking foul whistled against the Diggers. Molly Peoples checks into the game for Montana Tech, as well as Kaylee Zard. And no rim is the whistle there. Oredigger's with it on the left-hand side. They throw it into the hands of Zard. Zard back out along the top, and Crawford sets up the offense. Coverdell, righty finished, won't go. And Dickinson State gets the ball back. Right-hand side, it's Hopkins. They try to throw a little flare pass. On the inside, out, 3-ball, it's off the mark, but rebounded Dickinson State, and they'll get an uncontested layup. That's Lacey Wade. She navigated her way right amongst the traffic. Ends up underneath the bucket with nobody there. 46-35, and it's an 11-point lead for Montana Tech. Peoples over on the right-hand side. They swing it over left-hand wing. Driving down is McGree. McGree tries to go for the layup, and she is contacted and fouled by Lacey Wade. And that's a blocking foul against Wade, her second, the team first here in this third quarter. Dickinson State brings back in Teresa Phipps. Phipps in the ball game has 2 points, a couple of boards for the Blue Hawks. And McGree at the free throw line makes one. 47-35. Dickinson State trying to go with a little back cut there. On the inside, shot is up, and we've got a foul called on the drive. That's Jennifer Burnham at the free throw line. Foul whistled against Molly Peoples. Peoples, a Butte Central Maroon, where she prepped. Played her games over at the Mack Center. Shot is up, and it is good for Crawford. Diggers build that lead back out to 13. 50-37, 5 minutes left to go here in the third. Peoples with the steal. She's got it on the right-hand wing. Takes her time and finishes that layup. That was a little bit of an anxious moment for the Peoples clan down in front of me. Molly had 3 good looks at layups yesterday. Clanked them all. Back cut there by Dickinson State. They're trapped down in the corner, and they'll whistle a travel against Lacey Wade. And that's going to bring us to immediate timeout. The Diggers with a 15-point advantage now, 52-37 over the Dickinson State Blue Hawks. 52-37 your score. Here in the Payne West Montana Tech tip-off tournament, the Lady Orediggers with a 15-point advantage. On Dickinson State, they feed it to McGree. 3-ball! Sammy McGree has hit her third 3 of the game. She's got 10 points for the Diggers. Long skip pass over for Dickinson State. Diggers exit. Give it back out left-hand side. A tough 2 put up, missed, but it didn't draw iron, and it falls right into the hands of Hopkins. It's one of the rare opportunities where you can get credited with a missed field goal and an assist on the same play. Really, you got to classify it as one or the other, but you got to say, yeah, I was trying to pass to her. Over to the left-hand side, Peoples, little dribble drive action, throws it to Zard. Zard is in the way. I think they were trying to go to McGree. Across the lane, Crawford, tray ball. Haley Crawford. And the Diggers have built it out to 19 points. It's 58-39 on your scoreboard with the Diggers leading. Over on the right-hand side, Dickinson State. Back from the break, they call a timeout, and then they turn it over with an errant post-to-post pass. The right-hand side, Peoples dribbles that way. Now they'll swing it back to the left-hand side. McGree, corner 3, another one. McGree, she's got 4 dribbles, and now she's got 13 points for the Orediggers. We're starting to light it up from downtown. They are 11 of 20. That's 55% for all you math majors out there. Dickinson State able to connect on the free throw. That's Riley Helmick. Helmick, a 5'6" junior guard. She's got 3 points and 2 rebounds in this ball game. Make it 4. The left-hand side. Kaylin Coverdell over to McGree, over to Crawford. Crawford, she'll drive baseline, long skip pass over to Peoples. Oh, in and out from three-point land. And the Blue Hawks get it back. Diggers are going to drop into the man-to-man here. It's a 20-point lead for Montana Tech, as cutting across the lane was Dickinson State's Hopkins, but it was Coverdell who got in the passing lane and knocked it out of bounds. Pass is errant, taken away, and Molly Peoples has it. She's way out in front. She'll throw it ahead to Shea Potter, and Potter is able to get the transition layup to go. That's how you reward a big for running down the floor. You get her the ball with an easy opportunity to score it. Crawford got lucky there. She tried to get the hand in the cookie jar, and we got a whistle and a foul. Whistled against Coverdell. That one's going to go against Kaylin, the junior. Phipps at the free throw line, shooting a couple. First one is good. Dickinson State is a really good free throw shooting team. They are 10 of 11 so far in this contest. (11 of 12) now from the free throw line is Dickinson State. As they cut back, make it a 20-point ball game with 1:40 left to go here in the third. On the right-hand side, Molly Peoples. She'll drive down, kick it back over on the left-hand wing. Swing it out, left-hand side. Courtney Coverdell, that ball has been tipped. Ball's loose on the floor, and Dickinson State recovers. They've also got a couple seconds to get across the timeline, and they just do. Right-hand wing. They feed it into Phipps. Phipps, dribble drive in, and they're going to call a foul on Potter. As they say, she put the arm bar down and stopped the offensive player's momentum. Minute 10 left to go here in the third. Peoples over in the hands of Sparks. Sparks across the lane. And let's see if they say this is shooting. They do say it's shooting. Sparks makes one. And makes two. And a tie-up is called. Montana Tech's pressure defense is sure helping. Left-hand side, Peoples in the lane, righty floater, it's up and good. Molly Peoples is getting a little bit more comfortable now for the Orediggers. Long shot on the right-hand side, it's off the mark. And the Orediggers trying to increase this lead. It's currently at 22 points, 67-45, with 17 seconds left to go here on the game clock. Shot clock is turned off. Williams over to Sparks. Got a little seal action. And Coverdell will just fire the three when the post isn't open. And now it is a 25-point lead for Montana Tech. 70-45 is your score at the end of three quarters. Dickinson State will start with the ball here in the fourth quarter. Montana Tech leading 70-45. The Blue Hawks with the ball on the right-hand side. Swing it around, try the tray ball, and it'll rattle off the mark. Rebound comes down to Potter. Does a good job of securing it. And we got a whistle and a foul called against Dickinson State. Everybody in the gym was a little surprised by that one. So Montana Tech so far in this one, shooting 48% from the floor, 52% from three-point land. They are 12 of 23 from downtown. Williams, she'll fire. She shows some range. And the ball was bouncing away from the inbounders. The referee gives the dead ball signal, and the Diggers are able to pick up their full court man-on-man. Mesa Williams, a 5'10" freshman, true freshman, out of White Sulphur Springs, Montana, home of the Hornets and the Red Ants Pants Festival. Also got a phenomenal brewery down there. I have not been to yet. And a foul against McGree. Just what you don't want to do when you're up by a boatload of points. Diggers are ahead by 28, 73-45. Driving in, tough shot put up. It's off the mark, and Williams will have it for Montana Tech. Long pass ahead to McGree. Over to Sparks. Sparks, they feed it into Potter. Back out to Williams. Extra pass. Coverdale. That tray is just off the mark. Rebound comes down, and Potter grabs it, and the Diggers will reset that offense. And Williams stops the dribble, but doesn't stop her feet and gets called for the travel. Montana Tech, that big lead right now. 28 points. 8:40 left to go here in the fourth. Over on the right-hand side. A pass just a bit outside. And we'll head the other direction. The ball was apparently thrown into no man's land as Mason Williams had to go track it down for Montana Tech. 8:30 left to go here in the fourth. Coverdale to McGree. Throws it down into the corner. Diggers going to reset the offense. Feed it into Potter, and that's a good post feed and a good score as they feed the sophomore from Utah. Sparks, long pass ahead to McGree. She hangs in the air and gets the righty layup from the left-hand side to go. And the Diggers now lead 77-45. With 7:48 left to go here in the fourth, Dickinson State wants to talk about it. As we come back from the timeout, Montana Tech leading 77-45 over Dickinson State in this 7th game of the Payne West Montana Tech tip-off tournament. I'd like to say our thanks to Payne West for helping us bring this game and this tournament here to Butte. Great opportunity to play a couple of home games in front of some home fans on a very cold weekend in Butte, America. 7:38 left to go here in the 4th, and the Diggers lead by a bunch. And we got an offensive foul called against Dickinson State. That one's whistled against Jennifer Burnham. She extended the arm, got the defender off, and the official standing 3 feet away and says, yeah, you can't do that. Seven and a half to play as the Diggers get the ball over in the hands of Armbruster. She nearly travels with it, and then she traveled with it. They didn't get the first one. They always get the second. So we'll flip it over. Back over to the Blue Hawks. As you've got a men's contest coming up as well. Montana Tech, the men's team, are 2-0 with wins over Yellowstone Christian and Nueta Hidatsa. Across the lane, a whistle and a foul. Montana Tech has got to stop fouling here late in this ball game. You're up ahead. You don't want to give Dickinson State the opportunity to score with the shot, with the clock not moving. Free throw is missed by Jennifer Burnham. And Shea Potter checks out. Kaylee Zard checks back in. Potter has 6 points and 6 boards for Montana Tech to go along with 4 fouls. It's the second team foul for Montana Tech, and Dickinson State goes over at the free throw line. 77-45 your score. Sean Ryan sitting along with you as we enjoy this home basketball tournament for the Orediggers. Armbruster with a good cut into the middle of the lane, in the middle of a no man's land, though, as there's players all over. Wasn't quite at the 15-foot line, wasn't quite where you could shoot a layup. Shot a floater with a little too much on it. Armbruster, good umbrella pressure. Hafer with it. She'll pull up, try the shot. Rebound comes down to Williams, and boy, she is clearing the boards well. Mesa Williams, she's got 12 points and 8 rebounds for the Orediggers. McGree, right-handed floater, it's off the mark. Rebound comes down to Zard, and she is fouled. Kaylee Zard with a good position. Sam McGree did a lot there offensively that really helped Montana Tech. She had the ball in the wing. She surveyed it. She saw that Zard had her player pinned, but she went in, beat her player off the dribble, got to the center of the key, then put it up with a strong right hand because it came off just off the side. Zard was able to grab it and put it back up. First free throw for Zard is off the mark. And Zard goes 1 of 2. The right-hand side, Dickinson State. The ball around middle court. McGree, that 3 ball is just off the mark. Rebound comes down to Williams. Boy, offensive rebounds have been her forte today. She's grabbed plenty of them. On the inside, Sparks to Williams, just can't quite get it to go. (78-45). We got a men's game coming up, and that'll be your last game of the Payne West Montana Tech tip-off tournament. And Sparks will pick up a foul. Dickinson State able to score it. That is their first basket of this fourth quarter. And it came 4 minutes and 45 seconds into the quarter. 5 minutes and 45 seconds into the quarter. Zard on the post feed, puts it up, and it won't go. But she will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 more. 78-47. Your leading scorer for Montana Tech right now is McGree. She's got 15. Monica Landeck's got 10. Mesa Williams has got 12. 8 points from Hannah Sparks. Sparks has the most assists in the game. She's got 4. And Williams is 1 rebound shy of a double-double. Zard able to score it. (82-49) your score here as the Orediggers have expanded that lead. They're going to start emptying the bench a little bit. Zard with the turnaround jumper doesn't draw iron, and it'll be knocked out of bounds in favor of Dickinson State. Armbruster checks out. Checking back in, checking in is Adrian Horn. We have not seen her into the ballgame yet. Redshirt freshman out of Kodiak, Alaska, standing 5'11". Ball tipped and taken by Crawford. Crawford, little hesitation, dribble. She's fouled before the shot, though. Good shot, good look, but a little too late. And that one is up and good at the free throw line, as the Diggers have 84 points to Dickinson State's 49. Foul is called against Zard. That's her 4th. So the Digger Bigs are in a little bit of foul trouble, as Potter's got 4 and Zard has got 4. And with 3:27 left to go here in the fourth quarter, Montana Tech is in pretty good control of this one, leading 84-49. A 35-point advantage. Crawford turns it over to Tasevich, and Dickinson State can't get the first one to go, but they'll get the second. And the whistle and the foul is going to go against Adrian Horn. She wasn't in great rebounding position there and had to foul, trying to prevent the bucket, but the bucket still went. Three-point play is good for Jennifer Burnham. Burnham has got 15 points. Make it 16 now. Hafer. Back over to Burnham. She'll get to the lane and score it. Molly Peoples set to check in. 2:50 left to go here. Shot is up and no good by Horn. Digger still playing the man-to-man. Shot is up and it'll go out of bounds. As Peoples checks in, Landeck checks out. Landeck finishes with 10 points on 4 of 10 shooting. Diggers shot the ball extremely well in this one, 46% from the floor, 46% from 3, and have gone 7 of 10 at the free throw line. Horn over to Peoples. She finds a little lane, goes across, can't get the bucket to go. And Teresa Phipps collects one of the rebounds that she never had to jump for. She was sitting on the ground. Lefty layup up and good for Hopkins. She's got 6 now for Dickinson State. And the Diggers leading 84-56. Peoples drops it off on the inside, and there's a left-handed layup for Madison Akers, the 5'11" sophomore out of Homer, Alaska. After this contest, we'll have a post-game interview with Coach Carly Sannon. She's in her 4th season for Montana Tech as the Diggers will improve to 3-0. Good defense played there. A takeaway by Jaden Pallister, redshirt freshman out of Helena Capital. Crawford, long pass over to Horn. That one's long. Rebound comes down to Pallister. She's got it, and we'll have a tie-up with 46 seconds left because just feels right. 30-point lead for Montana Tech. 46.6 seconds left. They throw it in to Peoples. She'll hand it off to Crawford. Crawford will drive baseline, flip it over, left-hand wing. Shot clock down to 3. Crawford, she'll fire it up. Rebound comes down, and Akers is able to put it in at the buzzer. A buzzer beater to get the Diggers at 88. 19 seconds left to go here in the 4th. Dickinson State run a high pick-on ball over on the right-hand side. Little give and go, and Phipps can't get the first one. And the Diggers will dribble this one out. Montana Tech is going to improve to 3-0 with an 88-56 victory over Dickinson State. The Diggers shoot 45% from the field and make 13 threes en route to the win over the Blue Hawks. Post-game interview with Coach Carly Sannon coming up momentarily.
1, 2, 3.